You might not even be here for purpose. You might feel like there's something missing in your life, there's something lacking. You're not motivated to do anything, you're empty, things just seem so boring and mundane. I'm telling you, I've been in this situation so many times, especially since starting my journey of self-development. But even during the starting of my self-development, I didn't even really care about purpose. I didn't really know what it was. I didn't really know what it meant to find your purpose or anything like that. And so the reason why in this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step framework on how to unlock your purpose. Why purpose is so important in the first place. Number one is it rejuvenates your life energy. It gives you a feeling of energy and a feeling of wanting to wake up in the morning. You know exactly what you're doing at every single moment of the day. You're intentional. You're all of a sudden not doing those bad habits anymore. You're all of a sudden not interested in doom scrolling, watching porn, self-sabotaging yourself. These things no longer interest you once you are on your purpose. It took me 1.5 years to really figure out what was my true purpose. And when we think about purpose, it can get a little confusing because you can't describe your purpose in one sentence. It can never be like that. It's complicated, it's constantly evolving, it's constantly changing. But why is this so important for you? Purpose is meaning. And why do people look for meaning in life? People look for meaning because it gives them a sense of energy, a reason to wake up in the morning, a sense of fulfillment, to feel alive. If you're watching this video and you just want to feel alive, you just want to feel like you're something in this world, this is exactly what this video is here for you. Especially going through the education system, nothing really interested me. I would all half-ass the homework, half-ass the tests. I would just show up, drag my feet to school. Even after school, I wouldn't do anything about it. Something was missing, and I knew something was missing. Therefore, I need to go on a journey of self-discovery. That's exactly what I want you to go on during this video. The 3 step-by-step framework that I'm going to be going through today is number 1, training arc. Number 2, the path of self-discovery. Number 3, alignment. And all this information I'm going to give you today is things that I've learned in my journey over the past 1.5 years, over 1.5 years. And it took me 1.5 years to really figure out what my purpose is and really get a good understanding on what it is. And once I did find it, all of a sudden I gained this confidence. I gained this alignment in my life. Everything felt just so good. I was excited to do the work in the morning. I was excited to experience with people and bring people in my life and be more open and to let my mind be curious and lead me towards things of growth and learning. So with this framework, I really need you to be attentive and to really understand what I'm trying to say here, because at the end of each section, I'm gonna give you actions, quests for you to go on after each section, depending on where you're at in this whole entire journey. So the first step in this 3 step-by-step process is going to be your training arc. And it might sound a little bit goofy because the word training arc comes from like anime, fiction, novels. It comes from stories, the training arc, where the hero goes out on a journey, not to slay the dragon yet, but to sharpen his axe, to really train, to really go on that big quest to defeat the dragon and save the princess. That's exactly what we need to do before we even go and find our purpose, before we even go out and do these things. A lot of you might be in this stage right now, this training arc, and not even be knowing of it. But in the training arc, what are we specifically training? Because this has a lot to do with purpose. The thing that we're training is awareness. Being aware of what? Being aware of self, being aware of the actions you take, being aware of the things that you say, being aware of the thoughts you have, being aware of the emotions that you have, being aware of all the bad habits you've been doing, being aware of all the things in your life that's been holding you back. A lot of people walk through life and they're not even aware of what makes them tick. They're not aware of their strengths, their weaknesses. They're not aware of the bottled up emotions they have inside, and they wonder why they don't take action. They wonder why they don't feel good about themselves. They wonder why they can't get out of bed in the morning. It's because they're not aware of what's happening on the inside. And during this training arc process of mine, I didn't really look at it like a training arc. I looked at it like I was just trying to figure it out. And I kept being called to really dive deep into myself. I'd have moments in my journey where I would literally take one whole day and just look at a wall or just sit down with a piece of paper, put my phone in the other room, and really just think, who am I? What do I want? Because because you'd be surprised, so many people in their lives, they might think they know what they want. They're like, they would almost think it's a stupid question to ask, what do they want? Because, of course I know what I want. But most of the time they'd give a shallow answer because they know deep down that asking yourself what you truly want probably goes against what everyone says that you should want. So once we build this awareness of, okay, what do we want? what we need to do in this training arc is really spend time with ourselves and to really understand our character. It's to really sit down with a piece of paper and ask yourself, who am I? Like, what do I want? Like, what experiences in my life have I gone through that have really changed me? I'm telling you, a lot of people, they still walk through life with their childhood trauma. They still walk through life with this bottled up emotions that they had from when they were a child, their first couple years of their development. And a lot of us are traumatized. A lot of us just have bottled up emotions. So you're not alone in this if you even feel like that. But it's time to really face it's time to really face that shadow within us that is holding all these bottled up emotions and holding us back. These things that are holding us back are like chains, right? You feel like you're dragging yourself. Every day you wake up, you feel like you're dragging yourself to work. You feel like you're dragging yourself to school. You feel like you're dragging yourself to the gym. You want to do these things, right? You want to do them, but you don't feel like doing them. Why? It's because there's things in the back of our mind that we need to bring to the conscious state that we need to be aware of and to really fix it and mold it. So how we do this process is, what you really need to ask yourself is, okay, what are the problems in my life currently and why are they the problems? And what you do is tie that problem. There's a reason that problem is a thing, because it maybe triggers you, something in your past reminds you of that thing in the future or the present moment. And what you need to do is really bring it to the front of your conscious and awareness and change it. It's going back into the moments in your life where life has really just hurt you, people have hurt you, and to really bring that to the front and be like, like, this is why I do this now. It's because this person hurt me, or it's because I went through X, Y, Z. And so once we are aware of that said thing, now it's time for you to use your awareness to be like, okay, but how can I change this now? How can I mold this belief that was programmed into me that's not that good to inform it into something good and positive and transformative? That's exactly what we're trying to do in the training arc, is to uncover all the bullshit. It's to dig through all the piled up desires, to dig through the piled up junk in our head and really filter out what is actually meaningful in ourselves, in our life. I'm telling you, a lot of people, they live in a drifter state of mind, because I'm actually gonna pull up the Maslow's hierarchy of needs here, because this is a really important diagram that I kind of base self-development on. And so if you look at the first couple layers, starting from the bottom up, we need to really take care of these first before we take care of anything else. And that's why we do go in self-development, because we're dissatisfied. We need to change one of these things, whether that be security, you feel insecure about your financial situation, your mental situation, you don't feel like your reality is safe, you're always in a fight or flight. Maybe you don't feel belong somewhere, maybe you don't have that connection, you don't have many friends, you're introverted, you call yourself an introvert, and you claim that title, and then you use that as an excuse to not want to talk to people and to not have friends in your life. Maybe it's your self-esteem, you feel insecure because maybe someone said something to you in the past and it's really bothered you since then. Maybe you're always persecuted as a kid, you were always looked down upon, and that equates to you right now, and that's why you won't take action, because regardless of what you do, you'll still be looked down upon. These are just examples, by the way. If any of these hits you hard and you feel one of these, then really take that to heart and really channel that and look at that and face that. Most of the time we do live in a fight or flight mode, and that's exactly why we won't want to find purpose. It's because we're not aware of these little demons in our head that is us, that is bothering us and holding us down like chains. So our goal in the training arc is to train our awareness of our whole entire self. That's exactly what it is. And I had to go through this process myself. I didn't know what any of it even meant. I didn't know what it was. And so during it, I had to really figure it out. It was really a slow process. That's why it took me a year and a half to really figure it all out. But once I did, it all made sense. It made me, every time I brought something to the conscious mind and changed it and really realized it, I felt like almost like I put another puzzle piece to myself, right? I felt like the bigger picture was starting to form. I gained that clarity. I could take more action. I felt free. I felt liberated. I felt more alive. And so next, what we're going to do is go into the next step in this 3 step-by-step framework, which is the path of self-discovery. The training arc was just building that awareness. Okay, realizing that, okay, there's actually things in my mind that hold me back, and I don't need to be this person I am. I can change those beliefs in the back of my mind and change them to take better action. And so the next step is actually figuring out, what do you want? And figuring out, who am I? Who is this character that I'm wearing? Because you are a spiritual being having a 3D experience, having a physical experience. But We're all here to call to something. We're all here on earth to get called to something. You can't escape responsibility. You can't escape problems. I've tried it. I've tried to escape the problems. They only just come back even harder. They come back even louder. But the thing is, if you're looking for the feelings of being alive and excitement in your life, you're looking for an adventurous life, what you need is not purpose, but responsibility and meaning. Meaning is not the thing that you need. It's the feelings that go along with that. So meaning is the answer, right? And having a purpose just comes along with all these benefits. But it's really looking inward and asking yourself, okay, what do I really want? So what I did for you actually is to fill out a PDF that I put in the link in the description. It's on a Notion actually. You can just copy it. You fill out the questions. I actually want you to do that as a quest right now. So go fill that out. And it's like, I think it's like 9 or over 9 questions or something like that. It's for you to figure out and to really dive deep in your mind, right? You answer these questions, you get really deep into it, and just question yourself and to answer them truthfully and honestly. And maybe you'll get some insights. Maybe you'll get some transformative insights into who you really are. This has to do with Ikigai, the process of purpose, your reason for being created. And so what we're really trying to do in the path of self-discovery is look for what fascinates you. Look for what really makes you you. What makes you unique? What makes you the person who you want to become? And so when people are asked, okay, what do you want in life? That can kind of get complicated because you might want a lot of things, right? You might want everything. You might want the whole entire world, but can we get everything? I don't know, right? I'm not gonna sit here and give you a limited mindset, but you don't need everything. You might want everything, but you certainly don't need everything. But what you need is to have a specific call to adventure, a specific problem to really solve. So the path of self-discovery is finding out your strengths, finding out your weaknesses, finding out what you're interested in, finding out what you're really good at that you can help other people as well. Because purpose, the reason for being created, has a lot more to do with how you interact with the world, how you interact with other people, what type of impact you make in other people's lives. You can't escape that. You can't be like, oh, my purpose is to just serve myself, because you cannot live that out. You can try to live that out, but eventually you're gonna hit this wall, hit this dead end, hit this empty feeling like, okay, there's more to life than just me. There's other people in this world that you share this experience with, and therefore you have to go outside of yourself and help other people. You're a social creature. We're all ingrained to be together. We're all connected through the creator who created all of us here on earth. We're all sharing trauma, we're all sharing problems, we're all sharing suffering. So get used to it. Don't escape the problems. Face the problems that are meaningful to you, and that's what will give you energy, and that's what will get you to unlock your purpose. Step by step, you walk this path of self-discovery and you really try to find who you really are. During this as well, we're really trying to find a vision, a mission for you to go on. The vision goes purpose, vision, mission, and then the milestones and the habits, goals, etc. So the purpose, when I think about purpose, when I actually coach people on how to find purpose and stuff, and how to really find their words that really make up their purpose, because it can't be described in one sentence. So what I do in this practice is I talk to them, I say, okay, give me a couple words that can really just sum up your purpose, right? And they give me a couple words, and then what we do with these words is we break it down to a vision. And in this vision, what we do with this is we try to visualize, okay, what do you want? What do you see yourself in 5, 10 years with this vision, with this purpose of yours, and what type of impact do you think you can make? If you could make any impact on the world, which one would it be, and which one is more meaningful? That's exactly what I try to help people with when I coach them. And so when you go from purpose with the words to the vision that you make, the next thing is the mission. The mission is how you get to the vision. And so that's really, we try to really focus on the mission, and this goes right into the next step of this 3 step-by-step framework, which is your alignment, aligning your life to your purpose, to this vision, to this mission of yours, through your daily actions, through character arcs, through character sprints, through taking those daily actions every single day, brick by brick, building that great wall of China that is your life. People can get kind of confused with alignment because they plan too much. You don't really necessarily need to plan 100%, but it'd be a good idea for you to kind of get a good understanding of what the layout for your journey is going to be, and not perfectly step-by-step, word for word. That's not how it's going to be. It's to understand, okay, which milestones are most important and what type of time frame that I want to do this in. And then what you do is this whole journey towards that next milestone in your purpose is your next character arc that you need to go through to develop yourself and to really build and grow and transform into a whole new person, a person who's on his purpose, who wakes up with excitement, who goes out and helps people, who is fulfilled, who is making a living from their purpose, and to really be more fruitful in their life. So ever since I started to align my life to my purpose, every single action I took, it just felt so good. It felt so right. I felt positive with the things I did. I felt confident in the things that I did. Everything just felt blissful and right. And so that's exactly what I want you to do as well. So we got the purpose, the vision, the mission. And so the next part of alignment is aligning yourself to that mission through our daily actions. So what you want to do is look at the mission and reverse engineer it back to what you have to do every single day towards that mission. And you might be starting at level 1, and that's perfectly fine. If anything, that's more exciting than not, because you have a whole journey ahead of you. You have a lot to do. You have a lot of work to do now in order to get to where you want to go. And with your mission, be ambitious. Be more ambitious than not, because I'm telling you, this is your only life. The only thing that is certain in this life is death. That's the only thing that is certain. So other than that, you might as well chase after something that's going to fulfill you and that will bring you meaning. You might as well chase after something that is good for the world and good for you. That's exactly how I look at it. You spend your whole life chasing pleasure, chasing materialism, chasing this superficial stuff. You're gonna feel shallow. You're gonna live a shallow life. I've tried it. I've tried to live that type of life, and it really just left me empty. Some people might say that they find it meaningful, but fair enough, try to live it out if you really want to. But I'm gonna stick with my purpose. I'm gonna stick to what really fulfills me, and you should as well. So how do we align ourselves to our purpose? Like I said, reverse engineer our purpose and to really figure out what are the daily habits I have to start implementing every single day towards the next milestone in my journey, because the vision in the future, it's most likely, it's not gonna happen in like 6 months. It's most likely gonna happen in a couple years. It takes years, maybe even decades to achieve this vision, this mission. And so what you need to do is focus on now and how to take the next couple steps towards that and really harness that energy. And so all the information in this video, I've actually done on my journey myself. In a year and a half, I took all these steps, and I didn't know really what it was, but I kept taking it step by step, and it felt better and better each time I took a step forward. Of course, times in my journey where I felt like I was in a rut, I felt down, nothing was perfect, I was never consistent, but I showed up every single day. And ever since finding my purpose, things have just looked so much better in my life. And that's exactly why I want you to find your purpose as well. And like I said before, I actually hinted that I do actually coach people on this process of finding their purpose, unlocking their purposeful life, and aligning themselves to that so they're on the right track towards this ultimate mission of theirs, so they can wake up excited every single day, so they can feel alive, they can feel like the main character in their story. So if you like what I do and you're interested in finding your purpose and finally unlocking and living this fulfilled life of yours, what I have is a coaching program for you to go through in the link in the description. What we do is I hop on a one-on-one calls with you to really dig deep into your own self, to ask you the right questions, to really be one-on-one with you along this journey. It takes 8 weeks. It took me a year and a half, but for you, it can only take 8 weeks. I've actually tried this with other people, and I'm confident that I can help you find your purpose and get you aligned within 8 weeks. I have multiple video courses that I filmed that have to do a lot with this process, this 3 step-by-step process. And also with that, the calls that we have are really gonna be the most important part of this, because me and you will actually look at yourself and look at how we can pull out your uniqueness, pull out your purpose through all the junk, through all the distraction, through all these things, and to really find out what is really meaningful and how you can align yourself to your purpose. So if you're interested, it's in the link in the description. Also too, in the link in the description, I have a free Discord called The Guild that you can join. In there we talk about self-development. We have weekly calls every single week. I bring a lecture to the people inside the guild. We all have discussions, open discussions, debates even, about the game of life and self-development itself. So if you're looking for a community, I'd be happy to have you. And with that, my friend, continue your journey and keep moving forward.